Today we're working on the Camaro. We're going to be pulling the heads. Actually, we're pulling the whole motor out, tranny. We're putting our good PRC Texas Speed heads on it and the better turbo cam and switching out the turbo. All right, let's check out the heads. Heads are over here. They are the PRC heads. Ended up having these at sick week on my stock bottom end and blew up the stock bottom end on the final day. And I had to get new valves and seats in. I got all new intake valves. You can see the cylinder that went. A couple intake valves are bent and beat up, and exhaust valve too. But they've been decked once from when I blew the head gaskets on it a couple years ago. So we're gonna get these installed on the motor, then see our clearances for the valve. And I'm putting my better cam in it. Bigger turbo, which the turbo is over here. It's a Force Inductions S484 T6 that I had on it. This thing makes a lot more power than that other turbo. The other, I ended up starting having back pressure problems. I didn't want to push it, so I ended up using my dad's VS turbo. It has a bigger exhaust turbine, but but on the compressor side, it's a lot smaller compressor side. But we'll end up doing heads, cam. We'll end up doing heads on it, cam, new turbo. Should be back to where it was. Trying to get 850s. Was at 870s at 25 pounds boost. Will be, once I switch this over, we'll be closer to probably 32 pounds of boost. But we'll see. We're going to end up pulling all of this out, put it back together, and fire her up. Alright, well there you have it. Got the heads, the good head swap back on, and race week is in a couple weeks for Rocky Mountain Race Week last year for Brandomere. That track's getting taken out, get a race there twice, but I'm gonna go ahead and get ready. We got the new coilover shocks in. I guess I'll show you guys that. I have to mount the new tires I got. The other ones I ended up taking from swapping tires from a guy, but here are the Viking coilovers in it now, which before just had the stock springs and 10-year-old shocks that are probably worn out. That's probably why I was having difficulty the last season. These are old straight and single adjustables, so it should make a big difference. But have her all back together. Just gotta check the training fluid and tie stuff back so it doesn't burn up. And I have to weld the intercooler pipe back on. So that'll probably be next Sunday's project. But we'll start getting everything packed up. I have to get the chassis certified, so the guy should be here by Wednesday. But we'll talk to him. But here's old stock heads. And now we got a pretty PRC heads back. So it should have more compression than before. Definitely sounds better. I have a different cam in it too. So different heads, different cam. Put my old turbo back on. And we'll let her eat, I guess. The fuel pressure sensor isn't working. Probably something to do with my hack job wiring. But this fuel pressure sensor, then it goes into this hack job wiring. So I'm sure that's what the issue is. At first I went to fire it up, it was shorting 30 pounds of boost. So I don't know why it wasn't reading properly. I unplugged it, plugged back in, messed around with the wires trying to find out what happened. Turned it back on and it was working fine. That's just a 3-bar map sensor. I do have a 4-bar that I'm gonna bring with. Might swap it over to the 4-bar anyways, because we'll hopefully get above 30 pounds of boost. But we'll see. Well, that was the first startup of with the new heads on it. We'll get ready to go to race week.